sun getting down is really cool.
Welcome everybody to the Coachella Indio Waste Transfer Station Joint Power Authorities meeting. Today is Monday, April 28th, 2025. It is 3 p.m. We begin the meeting with the approval of the agenda. At this time, the authority may announce any items being pulled from the agenda or continue to another date or request the moving of an item of the agenda. I do see any changes to the agenda?
No.
Okay. The motion.
I'll motion to approve. So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Everyone, you can use the electronic voting, right? Okay.
We need to vote for that.
Okay. And call to order for the record, and Commissioner Hernandez is absent today. It's been noted. We'll move on to item number 3. We got a Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Bill Patterson, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. We'll move on to item number 4, approval of the minutes. Minutes for the Coachella Indio Waste Transfer Station Joint Powers Authority meeting of March 24th.
Chair, I would like to correct in the minutes that Jonathan and I are staff and not non-voting members.
For the record, the update on the minutes from staff, and so there's a motion and
I'll motion to approve with the edits.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a rank vote. Okay, we'll move on to this. Okay, move on to item number 5, public comments. The public may address the authority on any item of interest to the public that is not on the agenda but is within the subject matter jurisdiction thereof. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Any public comments?
I don't believe there are any.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 6. You got new business calendar, legislative and administrative. Item 6.1, draft facility operations and sublease agreement.
Thank you. Sarah Toyota, Environmental Programs Coordinator. The facility operations and sublease agreement, it builds off of previous agreements, and it builds off an established partnership between the JPA and Burrtec. Going back through the JPA agreements, the first facilities operation and sublease agreement between the two was actually done in 1998, and it was to construct the current facility that's there now. And that facility has been operating for 25 years, and during that time, there have been some amendments to the agreements, but Burrtec has operated and maintained the facility in a very comprehensive, professional way that has required very little oversight from the JPA. So now, the station requires upgrades and expansion in order to process the waste from the growing cities. And last month, the commissioners engaged in a study session to consider a new operations and sublease agreement that would include the construction of an expansion at the facility. The commissioners directed staff to bring back the agreements for approval. And just to go over some of the highlights of this agreement, it is a major expansion that double or triples some of the capacity from the current station now, and it's designed for the next 30 years. It's a 30-year term until 2055. It sets the construction cost at just under $11 million. The ownership will be the contractors until the agreement expires, and then the JPA can purchase it for $1. It includes the multi-species habitat conservation plan fee, and it sets specific components of the gate fee. We talked a little bit about this last at the study session, and the components of the gate fee that are set to go up would be the sublease payment is one of them. Obviously the facility component would increase for over 2 years, and the operating component and the transportation component will be set as well. And now we do have the final gate fee. So if these agreements are approved today, then the gate fee would increase from $75.54 to $80.61. And they would be subject to the CPI, water, sewer, and trash. rather than the San Bernardino Riverside County CPI. And then the schedule that's set in this agreement would have the transfer station upgrades complete around the end of 2026. Those are the main highlights. Burrtec is here to answer any questions you may have about some of the aspects of this agreement, staff as well, and we are happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Do you have any questions from the commission?
How does that gate fee change transfer to how much our residents are paying for their trash fees?
I have the numbers for Indio only, just to be very specific on that. For our residents, if this were all approved, the tax roll costs would increase $1.41 per month for a total cost of $26.38 a month for the trash rate for this year. The commercial would go up for a 3-yard one-time per week pickup, $3.86.
And what are they paying now? What are they currently paying?
The commercial currently is paying $143.95 for a 3-yard picked up one time a week, and that would go up $3.86 to $147.81.
Very minimal.
Yeah, $4. And those are Indio numbers, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Maritza, you don't have any Coachella numbers or anything? Would it be very similar?
It's going to be similar, so it is still below the amount for us to go to full Prop 218 for us, so it's still a nominal percentage increase.
Any other comments or questions?
No, I think it's good.
One other clerical update also is that the signature page will be updated to reflect the current commissioners.
Okay. So what do you need from us?
Motion to approve?
Okay, so I entertain a,
I'll make the motion to approve the facility operations and sublease agreement between the Coachella Indio Waste Transfer Station Joint Powers Authority and Burrtec Waste Industries.
I'll second that.
do roll call?
I'll do roll call vote for this.
Okay.
Commissioner Ortiz,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Miller,
Aye.
Chairperson Figueroa,
Aye.
motion carries.
Okay. Move on to item 6.2, the agreement for disposal of solid waste between the Coachella Indio Waste Transfer Station, Joint Power Authority, and Burrtec Waste Industries.
Thank you. This agreement basically goes in partnership with the first agreement. It has the same term of 30 years until 2055. It sets the disposal rate part of the gate fee, and it's set at $38.28. And I would like to point out that in trying to keep these rates where the increases are nominal throughout the years, it is the same and is designed to be the same as last year. Normally that would increase as well, but it was a way of trying to keep the rates from moving too quickly to build this new facility. So it remains the same in this agreement for 1 year, and then it becomes subject to the same water waste CPI as the operations and facility agreement.
And what is the CPI difference between that and the regular CPI for the Riverside County and that? Is it higher, lower?
It's higher.
Okay.
Over about a 14-year period, it was 1.5% higher.
Overall for 14 years?
Yes, that's just,
Oh,
it
so
was
it's
just the
still
random,
minimal.
yeah. Random average over that, it was 1.5% higher.
Okay.
It commits the waste to the Salton City landfill for the term of the agreement, and it includes the new commitment fee, which is not part of the gate fee and is separate to the JPA outside of the costs at the gate.
The commitment fee is what goes to CVAC? Is that?
No, that's the multi-species habitat conservation fee.
And that's part of this agreement?
That's
Okay.
part of the other agreement,
the other agreement.
facilities and operation agreement,
But
yes.
it's included?
It's included in the facilities
Okay.
operation and sublease agreement, yes.
Okay.
So that's taken care of, and that'll be part of the gate fee.
But nothing here?
No,
Okay.
that's not addressed here at all. Yes, the commitment fee, I'm sorry, it goes to the JPA.
That's what I
Yes.
thought. I just want to make sure that they, because, we talked about giving them some funding and stuff like that. I want to make sure it wasn't part of it both.
Understood, yes.
Second.
Again, we're all here to answer any questions about the waste disposal agreement, and that's really all I have. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer.
Any questions from the commission? So that commitment fee is kind of at the discretion of the GPA for usage to go back into that, the landfill and programming component in that?
The commitment fee is really outside of that. It's not part of the budget. It's a commitment fee to the JPA. It used to be, what it comes from is when we transferred the waste outside of Riverside County, Burrtec picked up an extended rental rate, and they paid that to Riverside County. So because these are long-term agreements, they have agreed to basically pay that to the JPA. So it's kind of something that always worked around in the background, that Burrtec has always had to pay on some level, only now instead of going to Riverside, it will go to the JPA.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Anything else?
Then, no other questions, entertain a motion.
I'll motion to approve the agreement for disposal of solid waste between the Coachella Indio Waste Transfer Station Joint Powers Authority and Burrtec Waste Industries.
I'll second that.
We can do a roll call.
Commissioner Ortiz,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Miller,
Aye.
Chairperson Figueroa,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Move on to item number 7, commissioner comments. Any commissioner comments?
No.
No, just following up on the last meeting's conversation we had about clarifying, if we have agreements to send any materials to Desert View Power Plant. And I believe that, go ahead, Sarah, I'll let you explain. Yeah.
Thank you. Through the JPA, we're basically focused on waste. It's a waste transfer station. All of the organics go to a completely separate facility. So those where that waste is actually, that flow control is in the waste hauler agreements. So we can address that in the waste hauler agreement, and in that agreement, at least in the Indio agreement, we can move the waste, let Burrtec know this is where we want certain items to go, and there's a procedure for it. You don't have to open up the waste hauler agreement. At this time, they don't send anything to that facility now, but it would be very easy to say if it did open, we don't want Indio waste going there, and we could solidify that in the hauler contract.
Are we able to bring that back for the next meeting?
The JPA meeting?
Yeah.
We could. It's not really handled here. Just more of a
Gotcha.
more of an official presentation on how that's worked out.
Well, I'm just wondering, do you need approval from us to do that?
No, just direction.
Okay. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, I'll be.
It's up to you. I'm good either way. What do you think?
I think last time you might have been a bit late to the last meeting, so we were talking about how the Desert View Power Plant had all those issues with the violations
Right.
in Mecca and the air quality concerns there. And now with the EPA possibly scaling back, we might see the reopening of that
Reopening of it.
facility. And we don't want to send materials there until we know that that's not going to be an issue for the air quality of those residents again.
Something we can discuss. I mean, whatever. Doc, what's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we can talk about and,
Yeah,
and just kind of see where it goes.
See where it goes.
So maybe if we can bring more information on that for the next meeting, or I'm not sure what more information you guys want to see.
Well, let's see what they. Frank, you want to come up and say something to us?
There you go.
So, do I need to do that all over again? Honorable Chair, members of the board. Commissioner, sorry. Frank Roulette, Vice President of Burrtec. Currently, our hauling agreement, we don't take anything there. If you didn't want everything goes to Coachella Valley Compost. And so if you said, hey, we don't want any of our material going to that facility, all I would need would be a letter from the city manager, a letter from the city directing us not to take anything there.
Well, let's see what.
But it would be for the councils of each city.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. There we go.
No other Commissioner comments, and we'll move on to item number 8, the adjournment. The next Coachella Indio Waste Transfer Station is to be determined. Will staff let us know when the next date would be?
Yes, it will be before the end of June to do the budgets.
Okay. So note the next meeting will be sometime in June of 2025. With that, we'll adjourn the meeting at 3:16 p.m.